Well, hello. All right. So first of all, we got some scuff. Of course we do. I mean, can't be again. Ad break. Yep. Yep. I'm going nuts. I'm going absolutely insane. These ad stuff is insane. Right. Just give me a second then. Change something. In camera seems weird. Oh, maybe not. Hey, what? Oh, either way, let's leave it as is. All right. Leave it. Oh, sorry about that. Welcome everyone. How you all doing? So here's what I would expect to happen. I have a little button for breaks. So I thought, hey, you know what? Instead of having Twitch run the initial ad, how about I start an ad so we can skip the entire let's wait a full minute or so, whatever it is. It's insane the wait time I have to do sometimes. I was thinking, hey, just throw an ad out there and hopefully it all fixes itself. It didn't. It didn't. So now I'm running two ads in less than a minute or two. So sorry about that, everyone, for throwing ads on ads. That was not, well, it's not meant to do that. And so we're looking at on YouTube side. How far behind are we dealing with a lot of delays on YouTube? That would be insane. And we are. All right, hopefully that will solve itself in a minute or so. Which side seems to be on time. Right, so as you can see, we are planning on logging on to into launching Godot for the first time. I have honestly absolutely no idea what I'm doing. So this will be one of these streams. Everything will be quite chill. And I expect people to feel like do something, have a look at chat. You know the drill. I think you've seen this before. So that's what we're doing today. Not sure if I'm liking what's going on the YouTube side. Well, hopefully it will be fine. The delay seems to be a bit more than I expected, but I've put it on ultra low, so it shouldn't be that bad. It does say that stream health is fine, so hopefully we are fine. Ultra low does not accept closed captions of 1440p and 4K resolution. That's fine. I'm not dealing with that right now. Yeah, it seems like it's a few seconds. If I do that, nice hand gesture, and about 5 seconds later, yeah, it's fine. We're fine. So, what are we doing? Yes, we are looking at Godot. And first thing I think is that it's a normal thing. Scroll to movie and zoom. Panning with holding a shift and mouse wheel. Okay, do that. All right, seems like the usual thing. One thing is that it's different compared to Unreal and Blender, for example, is that the up vector, or the up axis rather, Y, where it's usually Z in Blender and Blender and Unreal. My bad. And also you saw that I have Unreal or Blender in the background. Perfect. So we have a new project. It's in 3D. I'm assuming that's fine. Not sure what these nodes are. What are create nodes? Let's see what that is. Godot create a root node. What are these things? All right, let's tell me yes to do this, but I don't know. I don't want to know what to do. I want to know what it is. Nodes. Nodes are the fundamental building blocks of your game. Fair enough. They are like ingredients in your recipe. That's a very colorful way to say it. There are dozens of kinds and display an image, play, sound, represent. Okay. We have a character, scenes. Here we go. Here we go. Something in a empty scene. The scene dock on the left shows several options. Yeah. 2D nodes, 3D is spatial node, right? Am I meant to use these nodes in a way? Hmm. Right, let's try YouTube instead. Godot. Root nodes. Yeah. And on my side, I'm going to turn off music in my ears and add the browser so I can hear what they are saying. All right. All there is to know about. All right, that sounds enough. But what's this one? Why is it jumping? Stop that. Best practice. That sounds good, doesn't it? It's a 10-minute video though. Are these like what you call empties or plain axis in Blender? Mm-hmm. Right. What are these though? He's going through best practices, and sure, that's good to know. Do I need to use these nodes? Mm-hmm. Right. Not sure what it's trying to do. It's on the slow side. All right. Let's skip this one. Let's see if we can find something else. Go to this part. All right. Either way, there were some interesting things he said. So, but nothing that kind of told me what these are. We're gonna have to look further on other sites. There we go. About if chat GPT has something to say about root nodes. Alexa install. Let's break it down. All right, fair enough. Every scene has a root node, right? And every scene starts with a single root node. Think of the scenes as half-contained trees of nodes, or self-contained trees of nodes. Okay. The very top node in that tree is the root node, and the very other node inside the scene are child and grandchild. Okay, so it's like a hierarchy similar to what you would see in, for example, Unreal and the blueprint in Unreal, where you would have like the root or the blueprint. So a scene, would you use the same? But is it necessary though? Defines the scene type and purpose. Character, the root of the entire game is different. Why is it different? Well, it's a main scene. Okay, so let's ask him something else. I'll spell. All right. So, what else can you tell me about this? So I'm asking what I should do for the first time. You want to load or view a 3D model. Here's a great simple setup. Fair enough. Create a scene, create a 3D scene. Okay. It gives you root type of 3D, node 3D. Fair enough. Add a 3D object. Add, okay, so I can add, okay, so let's just try it. Click it. And in here, I should be able to add a child. That was telling me to do. Yeah. Choose something like mesh instance 3D. All right. I'm sure the purpose of all of this so far, but we'll figure it out as we go along, I guess. Can I do that? Yes, I can. So all of these related to 3D, like purely related to 3D, nothing else? All right, let's see if I can search mesh instance. What are you? I do like that they have some explanations down here. Mesh 3D instance. Okay, I know that instance meshes into a scenario. It's a node that takes a mesh resource and adds it to the current scene scenario by creating an instance of it. Fair enough. Most often used to render 3D geometry and can be used to instance a single mesh in many places. This allows reusing geometry, which can save resources. Okay. I'm assuming that's similar to how actors, in a sense, works in Unreal. But in this case, we're kind of creating, I'm trying to relate to my previous experiences. And in the way I look at it in Unreal, you would just drag and drop an asset, right? But here, I'm forced to create a 3D node. Is that the thing? And then I add assets or resources to it. That would be how you would do it in Unreal with blueprints. Is that how it works? Okay, so here's a good one. Why start with 3D node 3D as root? Fair enough. It gives you a scene, a position, orientation in world space. I guess then I'm not going to get it. You can easily move or rotate the whole scene. Okay. It's neutral. You can have physics. Oh, okay, so it's more, rather than a blueprint, it's more like a scene related stuff. And it's telling me walk through stuff. You'd like me to make it move or rotate? No, I'd like to know. No, I need a root for each 3D object I add to the scene. To a scene, rather. Ask it that. Assuming no. Short answer is no. You don't need a new root for it. Okay. But each scene file has exactly one root, and each instance scene brings its own root and the parent scene. All right, so based on that, if I want to create a 3D scene, I need a 3D root. That makes sense? With 3D objects, I'm going to ask again if like this, I will always have to add a 3D root to a scene. Hello, Mohammed. How you doing? Oh, I don't like it when it does this. You know, when ChatGPT splits the answer in two, you have to pick a response. Like, no, I just give me one of them. Guessing it's to improve the thing, I guess. Yes, exactly. Well, fair enough. And both says the same thing. Okay, if you're working with the 3D content, your scene root node must be a 3D type. Okay. So I'm based on this, I'm going by the assumption that I always need to add at least a root. All right. Fair enough. So from this, how do I import a, like, for example, an FBX? See if we can find information on that. How is life? Life is good. Yeah, I'm doing great. We're trying Godot for the first time today. We're going to integrate with the Blender software, or with the Blender software. We're going to integrate with Blender and see if we can't use a scene directly from Blender to work with it inside Godot instead. And I do believe, where is it? Where is it? Did I not save that scene? Or I didn't save that tab. Of course I didn't. So many tabs. Let's see. If I should be in history though. Of course, I need to go through ads. I hate that. I'm using two YouTube channels, but that's why. You're not getting it though. So that's perfectly fine. Awesome. Let's do this. Right. So I needed to do that. I'm assuming we're fine with the creation of nodes or roots rather. With the project settings, we need to search for Blender. We need to import. It is enabled already from the start. Fair enough. That's good. Okay, maybe something has changed a bit because something might have changed. Don't like that. Don't like that. So the tutorial I'm looking at telling me to first of all go and enable Blender stuff. It was already enabled. You can see right there. But he also told me to go back to the exact same thing, at least until I get to the enabled part. And instead of enabling, I should see a auth rather than a. So it's telling me click on import, and instead of this, I should see a option to add a path to Blender. So it might be that this tutorial is old. Let's see, how old is it? It's a year. So perhaps something has happened since then. Let's do this. Godot import and Blender file. Let's see if we can do that. And we have one that's 2 years old. Of course it is. This one is also 2 years old. Of course they are. This one's from 2018. Awesome. Awesome stuff. So let's see if AI can't help us then. Once this is set up, you can drag and drop Blender files directly into the Godot product folder to import them. Oh, there you go. No, Mohammed, this is not Blender. This is Godot. It's a game engine similar to Unreal, but open sourced. So it's open source like Blender, but it's a game engine like Unreal. That makes sense. An alternative is to export Blender models. All right, but let's try. So apparently I'm meant to be able to just drag and drop. So let's go to, where have I saved it, by the way? It's been a while since I worked in this project. Right, let's try the art diorama. I'll get that to work. So I'm assuming I'm meant to put it inside something like this while we do this. That makes sense. And I should be able to do that. Blender, blah, 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 is required to import blend files. Please provide a valid path. I guess that's fair. Let's see what it says. believe that is fine. Let me double check the Blender type 4.5. Yeah, that should be fine. Try it. Let's try it. Confirm. And it could be quite big because I have decent assets in it. Okay, so far that worked well. So I'm assuming I can just drag and drop this into this. All right. Apart from, it seems to me like there's missing assets. And walls are backwards or not shown at all. That's annoying. Why is that happening? Otherwise, it looks pretty... No, wait. No. This is an old file. Did I pick the wrong file? I did. I picked the wrong one. That's why. I picked the wrong to import. That makes sense. It's a good thing. This is the one I want. This will take some time, I assume. Why is that? Missing file art blah, blah, blah is one of... Okay. I mean, that makes sense. We did delete it, so that makes sense. How about this? It's also including the sliders or the size references. All right. I assume that makes sense. So what if we now go back to Blender and let's see, let's hide these. Where are you? I'm going to move all of these. We honestly don't actually need these. Let's call them size references. Let's hide. Yeah, so apparently I need to do some cleaning. What if I save? Does that make any difference to file? I assume not. What is that though? Wait, what is this? What are you? What on earth are you? Oh, that might be the 3D route, wouldn't it? Is that the 3D route then? Damn it. All right, we're learning. Cancel. Can I re-import this somehow? Re-import. Nothing happened, all right? Why is that? Is it because it's still recognizing the assets? Is that the thing? So it's the it's checking all the scenes, like all the what you call it, collection. All right, so let's say it does. Let's assume it does. What if I then delete this one? Let's just save. Go back, try and report again. Would that make a difference? Because it will be kind of annoying if... Oh, maybe it doesn't... That needs to come somehow ask it to... what you call it? Also update this one. I look tired? No, I'm fine, Mohammed. I'm absolutely fine. What if we do this? Let's delete. Come on. Let's delete. Yes, I do want to delete and do that. So it's not updating. Let's see. So it's not updating the way we want it to. So let's go Godot. Re-imported Blender file. Not updating. Let's see what this means. I learned the new blend file support from this video. Fair enough. Need that. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you. All right, thank you. So you've solved it. Okay, edit. The blend file and texture file were in the folder inside of my Blender directory. If I insert a Godot profile and opening the file from the work, save them, sort of not realizing sooner. I'm not sure what this is all about. Is it because I have the file in a different folder? Is that the thing? All right, let's see. The Blender file. We're in a folder inside of my Blender directory. Sure. I have the files in the Godot profile, and opening the files from there to work on them, save them, makes it work as expected. I'm sorry for not realizing sooner. I'm not sure how to close this. Okay, so assuming this ticket, whatever you want to call it, what the problem is that it's not inside the Godot project folder. It's that thing. You have broken mouse, that's unfortunate. All right. Let's see if we, guess I can do that. What's this? The alternative that was automatically imported so it can be modified. Wait, what? It can be modified, so it can't be modified. To make changes to it, a new inherited scene can be created. Oh, I can go in and modify it inside. Okay. Don't need that. Don't save. How about to save this then? Let's call the scenes. We're learning. Your mouse clicking twice. All right, that could be a fun experience, can't it? Blender imports. That's called Blender file import, so I know the difference. That. Like in a mile S. You have to give me a bit more content on that one. Not sure what you mean. Open anyway, what does that mean? Oh, so it's opening, okay. And I can assume I can then do something like this. All right, but that's not what I want. What I want is for the scene to open automatically. Oh, you know what it could be? All right, so here's what I'm thinking. The scene I've been working on is in a different folder, not even close to the Godot project itself. But if I save over this one inside the Blender folder, inside the Godot Blender folder, if I overwrite that save, perhaps that works. Let's try it. Let's do this. So let's save as. We're going to go back a few times. I'm going to go to project, which is where I saved it. I should have. Where is it? My first time in Godot. That makes sense. I'm going to go to Blender. I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to save. That worked. Fine. Let's see, Mohammed. You can't select anything because it's clicking twice for like in milliseconds. All right, each millisecond clicks twice. That sounds insane. Let's go back to Godot. Oh, it's really important. We're doing something. We're doing stuff. Please work. Why is that? What the hell? All right. Wait, why? Why though? All right. Let's grab this and that. Move you to. Oh, God. I need to bring that back. All right, let's try this again. Let's move these. Size. Why is it though? turn that off. Wait a minute. Why is it throwing in this big guy? Where is it, by the way? Check the... to this. Oh, you're all locked. That makes sense. That should have reset all but their rotations. Let's do that. Now they don't have any transforms. We're also going to lock them again and close. Because they are not showing, which is perfectly fine. Do that. So I'm going to re-import it. Okay, this, I like this. I do like this. The only thing I'm worried about, someone might be up to, just probably update me on this. How big would this file be and heavy on, like, the system itself? And should I keep to, like, a more tried and tested system, which is like the FBX system, where I like the import through an FBX instead of a Blender file? What are you all doing? Why are you doing that? Does that make sense? I don't think it does. I'm trying to figure out if I do certain ways things in Blender, if that affects anything. So they are all gathering in one spot like this. What's the difference between this guy, which is perfectly fine, and apparently these are sent to why? Do I need to delete them each time? By the way, I couldn't make the OC character. Well, that's unfortunate. What was the problem? I mean, I personally feel like this should be enough. Apparently not. These are the chairs. I guess we can just move the furniture. That makes me question, though, is... Ooh, I like this. Okay. I'm trying to figure out. So it's not saving my collections. So I assume then it doesn't really take my collections into considerations. Okay. Which would mean I have to delete those each time. But then again, why is it that these are thrown into the middle? Like you can see it right there. This part right there. Why is it throwing everything to that part? Why? Which one is it, by the way? Okay, I can't click it. Can I do that? No. And I can put it in layers. That's nice. And Mohammed, my piece is kind of weak. Can't handle Blender. Oh, yeah. That could be a thing. Skip import. Okay, so I can set these to not be included in an import. Like, that's what I'm assuming based on what this says, right? Advanced import settings for scene art. Mesh. Oh, I can look at each individual mesh by itself. That's kind of nice. I kind of like that. And the materials. Oh, no material. Yeah, it doesn't have a name. Makes sense. So I'm still want to know why these are not like as this one is fine. Kinda. What if I do that? That's cube 29. If we can't have that work. Now they're in their correct positions. Okay. I assume then if I do this, all my manis will be in the right position. Or, yeah, correct position. Right. So, what have you learned? You learned that I can't really include these things that I don't want inside the what should we call it? The Godot project. Solo leveling, how you doing? Godot will not import those. Oh, you said something else. You have to add no imp in Blender scene, which you want. Oh, you have to add in Blender scene, which okay. Can we go through that, by the way? I'm not sure what that means because this is my first time in Godot, so I'm not sure what that means. Or you're saying like a custom property? Is that what you're talking about? And Mohammed, you said my PC from 2009, so 4 gig of RAM and 1.69 CPU. I'm not the best when it comes to specs, but it doesn't sound like that will be enough if you want to go for a high-res model now. So do I need to do like a custom property called, what do you call it? No import. Oh, it's a suffix. Oh, okay. So if I go to this, let's just rename this. God, I can't spell. Bicycle. Not even close. Bicycle size ref. Does it need to be like a dash, or can I call it like an underscore? Does it need to be dash? And this is fine. I'm not sure if you can tell from the full resolution, but just no imp. Oh, of course it does. Why? It crashed. Okay, let's try it again. You said no, no suffix. All right, I'm pretty sure I'm not understanding this. You're seeing a. Okay. Oh, okay. Got it. I just need to make the work. So I was kind of on the right track then. There we go. I'm just going to try on this cube, see if that works. And what's likely to happen right now is it opened a temp. Of course it did. Okay, let's just save that. Should work for collection, I think. Oh, you should work on the collection too. That would be best because I'm pretty sure I can't use the suffix. Or does it, can it, because they're going to be numbers, right? But it's text that into consideration unless I have it on a collection. That would be the easiest. Okay, this is the one. Let's not save. How about we try that first, actually? What if I do that? Because I don't want this resize. Where are you? Come on. Please work. That doesn't look like it worked. All right, we got some ads. On which side? What are you doing, by the way? That's not right. Oh, that's the wrong one. This is the one I want to look at. Why is it doing that? Okay, I'm looking at my Twitch setup. It's not, something's wrong. Oh, that's not the one. So many buttons, so many wrong buttons. I want to go to this one. That's not what I want. Oh well. Let's leave it for now. At least it looks better. At least it looks better. Okay, so it doesn't seem to work on collections, unfortunately. How about we just do a quick Google? Godot dash no imp on Blender collections. Let's see, maybe not work for correction. Okay, so might not work for that. That's unfortunate. But we're learning. We're learning. That's the most important part. Godot workflow is ridiculous, or am I just missing something out? All right. So let's try this instead. Now that we're back from Twitch, commercial also ads. Let's try this. I'm gonna remove this part. Let's add it to this guy. So can we get one of these to not import? That would be amazing. And that's the goal. I'm looking at one of these. That worked, but now it did something else. Why did it not include the back faces? What's going on now? That seems like a bug, doesn't it? All right. That confuses me quite a bit. So the no import worked. Unfortunately, it didn't work in collections, it seems. It did work on the single mesh. But when I did that, my back face kind of broke and became two-sided, which I don't want. I do not want. Can I add... How about this? I'm going to try something. I'm going to add this to center world. Let's add a plane axis. Let's call this something origin no imp. Let's add, it's already added. Grab all of these plus U. What if we do that? Is that going to work? Yes, it is. All right, that's good to know. So apparently you can add and parent assets you don't want to import to a plain axis empty object, if you want to call it that. All right. The only downside is now I need to figure out how to properly have like a setup inside Blender, because I'd like to have collections, right? I could probably call these glad it helped you, and I learned something. You learned something. Yeah, that's what we're meant to do, right? We're here to learn. So let's call this size ref. And let's move all my manis into this one. And what should we call this one? Excluded objects. Excluded import. Unless, you know what? Do it easy. No import objects. There we go. And let's add another plane axis. Let's call this one Mani. No imp. It's probably redundant. I could probably use the same. But I feel like this will be easier for me to keep track. I do like the system though, because I mean, I like to be able to work with Blender, a Blender file, then have it directly update Godot. I like that. Here we go. Perfect. We're doing really nice progress here. So Solo, I assume then you have quite experience with Godot, right? How do you usually work with Godot and Blender? I'm assuming also you're working with Blender. You might not, but it doesn't really matter. Are you using this system, like Blender files, or do you prefer the more traditional way of like exporting FBX and then import that as a single asset? Because I'm not sure if I like the system yet. It's cool, but I'm not sure if I want to have it like be part of my main pipeline yet. What are you doing? You're doing something weird. What are you? Assuming. Which one is that? Could be this one. Yes, it's that one. So let's go to do this. Grab this and no import objects. Let's, you know what? We could do this instead. Let's do that. That in there. And in this, we add like that. I've never tried that. I can't. Okay. Do it plain axis. Dumb bells. Oh, can't spell. No imp. Add all of these to this. Nope. I need to do that. There you go. Let's see. Solo UR for quick prototyping and look of the game. I will update in Blender. Fair enough, and I will see it in Godot. If it's each model export, then I will export as a GLTF. Okay, is that file extension better than an FBX? Because I've never used the GLTF before. I'm an Unreal Unity guy at heart, so never used GLTF before. Is that Godot like unique? Again, don't know. This is new to me. No, not duplicate. To new. Muhammad, I used to watch your video solo like 8 months ago. Oh, yeah. Well, has it been 8 months? I don't think it's been that long. Or are you talking to solo leveling right now? Because I mean, my first videos should be in like beginning of June. Like, I think 28th of May was probably my first live stream. But it's been a while. It has been a while. Time just flies by. GLTF is open source models, exporting models from Blender. Oh, okay, everyone started to switch to GLTF. All right, perfect. Good to know. And I'm probably gonna talk to my coder and do something with that. Well, FBX is a property of Maya. That is true. I keep forgetting with that. Yeah, makes sense to keep to GLTF them, which is closed. It is, and I mean, yeah, it is closed. Blender is always like one version behind because it has to, what would you call it? Break down the file in order to understand what it's doing. I guess that's the best explanation. Manis. There we go. Oh, I do have one already. Please be gone. There we go. Let's call this size references. There we go. With this, if I save again, go to Godot. Hopefully this part will now be gone. We're repeating the process, which is great. And is the reason why there's a difference in color between these two. Let's see what that could be. Doesn't have a material. Doesn't have material. Is there a duplicate? It's not. You have not used Godot. I think that if you want to get into game dev and your computer isn't the fastest in the world, likely Godot will be your best bet. Right. We can turn this off. I don't like the relationship thing. So let's remove the lines. There we go. Can I also turn off the look of my empties? Pretty sure I can somewhere. It might be that I have to go to this part and just tell it to be disabled. Visibility. That's that part. That's not what I want. And if I do this, okay, perfect. That's what I want. Let's do that. Perfect. And you're learning the Pygame library. Yeah, never heard of it, but you mentioned before that you're trying to make a game in Python. Sounds cool. Keep it up. All right, so we got this. How about we trying to learn to create a material? Let's add a material to something. Let's grab this part and let's see what happens. I think it's better since Python mostly is my favorite programming language. So I hear what you're saying. And the only thing I want to add to that is depending on what you want to do, certain languages might not like do what you want to do, and they might be too heavy for game development. Then again, if you're making small stuff just as prototypes or it's your first game, those things probably doesn't matter. You should just go for it. GLFT is from Kronos Group. These people created OpenGL, Vulkan, WebGL. Oh shit, heavy hitters then. I've heard of, I mean, both OpenGL and Vulkan. WebGL I probably have heard, but I've never used it. But they are heavy hitters if they made at least two of those three. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. So if I do this, let's do a new material. That seems to crash something. Blender. You've already crashed once today. Please don't crash twice. You rarely crash. Thank you. Why did that take so long? Material. How about floor? Oh, one. Yeah, do that. And also we're going to call this, let's call it floor. Let's call this play area. Yes. Let's call it O1. And let's make sure that is part of it. UV map. Everything else seems to be fine. Let's unhide everything and save. I should do this, I guess. There you go. Mohammed, I use OpenGL, Python, but I still don't have so much knowledge. Yeah, the main knowledge I have about OpenGL is that you use it for Unity and likely Godot, but you don't use it for Unreal. It's all about normal maps in my case, which is very little knowledge. It's more like a Boolean type of knowledge. Like it's either this or that. Pick one. All right, perfect. I'm going to save. So with this, I should be able to modify this. Let's cancel that. We're going to heard of this is the most useful one, but the hardest. Not sure to tell you, but hard, probably, yeah, difficult. If I click that, I'll likely open Blender, or will I open the scene? I will open the scene. All right. And there's my material. Perfect. And what does this mean? What does use external mean? Look it up. pick that first. Do the official Godot docs first. See if we can figure something else. If you enable, you can select your own custom material from Godot. So if I don't want to use that particular material that I've made in Blender, I can override it and use one I've made in Godot. Is that what you're saying? And Mohammed OpenGL where you can use ray tracing technique and ray. All right. Or realistic light, exactly. All right, so that's solo. So it's overriding. Okay, cool. But the question is, what is the best in my case? I find that I personally don't like the Blender material that much. Now I'm comparing to Unreal, but I don't know about Godot. What is Godot's material editor like? Good? I guess that's the best way I can put it. Because I'm so used to having nodes and a graph to work with. That would be amazing if that is possible in Godot. All right, so let's try. How about we try this? Textures.com. This, but again, if you change Blender file, it reports again, those overrides will go away. Oh, okay. So what I'm doing right now by using Blender is, in a way, I wouldn't say forcing myself, but I'm definitely making things difficult for myself by limiting what I can do to Blender itself. I can do stuff, but like you're saying, it keeps overriding my settings. Maybe not everything, but a few things, which means that if I want to update something in Blender, I need to go back to Godot, reapply the custom material. And if I do a new change in Blender, I have to repeat that process. That's not the best. But then again, this might be the limit of this workflow, and I should probably go for a, like you mentioned before, a GLFT workflow instead. Well, let's just try something. Probably even do that. Need to log in, of course. Should be fast enough. And what else? Let's download a few of these. Do that. There we go. All right. So you should do Blender export. Oh, sorry. Export GLTF, and you should have renamed so you accidentally don't override. Okay, so you're preferring or recommending I'd call it more traditional workflow with exporting, or are you saying I should export the entire scene as an GLFT? That's such a handful to say. Because right now I'm just trying it out. This is my first 50 minutes or 1 hour inside Godot. But I'm still looking at, we probably should have assets separated, especially later on in the game process. For prototyping, you're thinking this is fine. Perfect. Yeah. You're confirming some of my suspicions, which is perfect. Let's try this. I've downloaded a few files. What's going on? All right, there we go. We're going to go to shading. And let's see if we can import these files. Where are you? There you go. This. Yep. Okay. about this instead? Is that better? It is. Perfect. If you can combine Godot and Python, I have absolutely no idea. My instinct tells me you shouldn't, because Godot has its own built-in script language, which you probably want to use. But then again, 1 hour into Godot, I'm by no means an expert. So normal, let's go for strength. I'm not sure why it does that. Like add, why if I drag from color, it adds it to strength first. Not sure why. I have started Godot recently trying to make retro fast-paced 3D shooter. Cool. As in retro, you're thinking, how far, what is retro to you? I'm thinking like the old Doom things or Quake, right? But retro could be going back to 2000s. That could be retro by now. But that's a cool project. I love retro stuff. Oh, come on. Do that. Metallic is off. Why is it that bad? Is it because I'm downloading the lowest? Nope, it's not because of that. Let's try this. New pack master. No, how about we do this instead? Wait, why is it? All right, something's really wrong right now. What's going on? Oh, I think I know what's going on. That's what's going on. At some point, I separated those. I'm not sure why I didn't just duplicate, then separate, but that's not what I did. That's perfect. Back to modeling. Now we have what? It's a rock pattern, but I just want to try, see what happens if the textures will follow along. Doesn't look like it did. Mohammed, I want to make a good open world frame bit. I mean, go for it. Absolutely. I think we had this talk before, Mohammed. My recommendations, at least initially, if your final product could absolutely be a open world, go for it. Absolutely, you should. If that's the game you want to go for, do it. I would start very small though. Like make it as small as possible, but you can still have all the features you want in the game. Like you want to have a shop, make sure you can implement that. If you want to have a, I don't know, car, just make a world big enough so you can try the car, but not big as in the final product, because you want to have a small world to try things on first. Otherwise, you'll just get overwhelmed really quickly. So why didn't that follow along? So it does that each time, okay. Is there a reason why it didn't? Changes may be lost, that's fair enough. Where is my material though? You just because since I said last time, perfect. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Good to know. So where's my materials? Nodes. Small chunk of a train every time. There you go. Right. Turn that off. Unfortunate that, okay. Use external, all right. It doesn't come along. This texture doesn't seem to follow, which is unfortunate. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Okay, let's try that. I need to do something along the lines of unpacking textures. Let's see what that's all about. Turn data unpack. All right, let's try it out. I mean, this is a experimental file either way, so. Unpack. No packed files to unpack. Fair enough, I guess. Mohammed, it works for almost 19 chunks. Again, the RAM was so weak, it starts to crash at 18, 19 chunks. Okay. Let's see. Solo, your game is similar to Cosmic Call. Is that Blood Thief? I'm curious. I can't say I recognize these names. And of course, need to listen to ads. Fun. Oh, Blood Thief looks amazingly fun. Fast paced. Holy shit. God, that is so fast. I would panic. I would seriously panic, but it looks like a lot of fun. Okay, what was the other one? Cosmic Call. Let's see. All right. Oh, Cosmic Call looks amazing. It reminds me, what's the name of that Warhammer game? What's it called? Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Let's call it 2D shooter. Hello. What are you doing, computer? What are you doing? Come on. This shouldn't be that hard. There we go. This is one. It makes me think of this game. I'm pretty sure you've seen it before. Where are you? There we go. And let's turn that off. This game. I think this is very similar to what you're showing me in Solo. And I think this could probably be a really fun game. I never played it, but I've seen enough of the Let's Plays and everything to kind of get the feeling like, oh, we should play it. Yeah? All right. God, I love these types of games. When people kind of mix art styles, like not art styles, art, should we call it types, as in 2D and 3D. In this case, it's 2D, 3D pixel art. So cool. Doom and other similar games. Yeah. I mean, if you can make this work, that would be a hell of a fun game. Yeah, the Blood Thief. Yeah, we looked at it on the side. But this one came to mind when I saw both the Cosmic Call and Blood Thief. This one came to mind. I just love the pacing of this one. Looks like so satisfying. But yeah. So what's your plans then, Solo? Are you making this pure for yourself as a side project, or thinking of releasing it as a perhaps a free demo or a paid demo on Steam, something, itch, perhaps? Yeah, Warhammer mixed with the old Doom. Yeah, exactly. Wait, what was about the test? All right. Hacking stuff. No. How about this then? Just itch free game mostly. I have IT job, not much free time. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I also have a job. This is me taking up the small time I have during free time, or like to make games. So I hear you. What's going on? Yeah, that's not what I want. Let's see, how about this? Send textures from Blender to Godot. Of that. Not sad. And damn. How about this? Mohammed, I like the moving system. I think the moving system probably, or the moving mechanic probably feels really nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does make sense. Let's figure that out some other time. Mohammed, you don't have a job. You're a student, Mohammed, are you not? You're meant to study. That now realize that overlay is way too big. Do that instead. There you go. All right, so that doesn't work the way I hoped. How about we instead learn how to make a material? How about that? How about that? Godot material basics. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a long one. Oh shit. This is gonna take some time. Uh-huh. The resource, okay. All right, fair enough. That seems simple enough. So create new folder. Let's call it material. And let's go to material, folder, resource. standard material 3D. So far, so good. You are studying. There you go. And as a student, you shouldn't, if you can, please avoid work while you're studying. If you can, that is. Not everyone can. All right. What should we call it? Let's call it basic test material. 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 There you go. Enter. Hmm. Okay. Losing my voice. So what it looks like is that I should be able to just drag and drop this. Let's open this, and I can't do it. All right. You're working now while watching. You mean you're studying, or you're working because you said you didn't have a job? Which one is it, Mohammed? Which one is it? That didn't work the way I expected it to do. Hmm. Let's see something else. So I can grab a texture. Probably need to import that texture then. Maybe a file in the file system, or right, let's try this. Let's do a folder, textures, and we're gonna have some ads soon. So when the ads start, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I do need to fill up on water. So once that happens, I'll be gone in like 2 minutes. 2 minutes or something like that. Textures, can I? I can't do that, so I'm probably able to do this then. Does it not accept textures? Or is it the type of texture? The number of textures, not sure why. File manager, not sure what that is. Oh, did it import? No. How about this? Godot. All right, so there we go, some ads. Then I'll be right back. Just give me 2 minutes. Right. There we go. Oh, perfect. Timed that perfectly. Mohammed, you are working is not a job. Well, usually that is a verb for work for job. Either way, yeah. It's just after studying. Okay, and if you feel like you are losing, drink a little bit of olive oil. Not sure about that. Oh, the games you mentioned earlier, the Cosmic All and Blood Thief are all made in Godot. That's pretty badass. I haven't seen quite a few games now recently. Haven't really been in touch with the Godot, like what you would call it, forum, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not really sure what you can do with Godot actually. But I've seen for the past like year or so a lot of games pop up and people saying, "Hey, these were made in Godot," and so on, so on. So it's really cool. I do like the fact that over the past like 5 years, open source softwares has been more mainstream. It started with Blender, as far as I know, of course. That's probably a lot of other sources. But within 3D and games, at least, in my view, it started with Blender when they did that update, or was it 1.78, I think, when they did that UI update. That just blew everything up for me. Like, oh, all of a sudden, I think I can use Blender. And after that, is seeing Godot and seeing other sources. Yeah, it's fun. I like it. I think that's what it should be. Right. We were trying to import textures. Said game dev YouTube covers games made in Godot. Oh, there you go. That's cool. Yeah. How about we kind of add a note for myself to have a look at their stuff. Is it stay at home game dev or is it stay? YouTube covers games. Yeah, the amount of games in Godot is astonishing. Yeah. Exactly. That's the fun part. But I feel like that's reasonable too, considering how harsh or like the impact Epic like Unreal has on your computer, because it's quite demanding. And Unity, well, let's not talk about Unity. It is what it is, right? They do their stuff, and people don't like them anymore. Right. Getting distracted as always. Let's see. Bump JPEGs. Oh, question. Godot, does it accept TIFF? Maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, then that explains why I'm struggling. Right. Wait, what? Where did my Photoshop go? Let's see. It does open. It seems to me like it might be that because it's not in the document. Supported image formats, and I can't see TIFF. Well, let's see if we can't quickly save a few PNGs. Oop, I get to see all my background stuff. Nice. Where are you? Export. Doing this quick and dirty. All I want to see if I can actually make it import first and foremost. Nothing cool right now. Right, so with that, I'll have these PNGs. So if I do this, there you go. It was TIFF. That was the problem. And now I believe if I grab albedo, drag and drop that onto this, right? What else? Roughness. I do have roughness. I like this. This feels great. It feels familiar too. Why though it's in red channel? Oh, does it have to be in red channel? How about no? Where are the normal? There we go. Oh, I need to turn it on. Okay. All right. And scale. Oh, not that one. Oh, scale is intensity. Fair enough. I thought it was highly for a second. So with that, can I now somehow use the new material on top of this? That's not the right one. That is the right one. I need to go to materials, floor, use external. Is that what I'm meant to do? Go to materials, basic. No. One more time. Open. Doesn't seem to work. It does work. Okay. That might not be the way you're meant to do it, but it did work, and that's all that matters. Why is that? And what? What's up with you guys? Why are you like that? Do we have duplicates? We did not. What's your problem? Oh, it's likely due to... come on. Oh, that's pushing all the wrong buttons right now. Close. I don't need that. I was wondering, why is that happening? There you go. That's why. That's why. That's why. All right. So if I save now, I assume this is going to be overridden. It's not. Does that mean that if I go back to this one, materials, this, it's still there. Perfect. But has it affected this thing? Doesn't look like it has. I do that. I do prefer if I don't have to do the, come on. So I would absolutely prefer if I didn't have to assign a new material inside Godot, that it could use the material I assign in Blender. If I'm going to do this workflow, that is what I prefer. Very beginner friendly, yes, very. Though I would like to see if there is a material graph. Personally, I do prefer that. Let's see if there's something like that. Material Maker, which seems to be some kind of plugin, is it? Based on Godot engine, materials define graphs. I'm looking at some kind of trailer for this thing. It's just showing me a bunch of materials. That's not what I want. All right. Mohammed, I have a birthday party here in the cafe. Oh, like it's not your birthday, is it? Because if it is, I need to congratulate you. Wait, someone else's and you just happen to be there, or what's going on? What's visual shaders? We go something. All right. Click on the new shader resources, create, and the create shaded dialog will open automatically. Yeah, that's fair. I think I know what that is. Is a girl and her boyfriend? Well, good for them. What's this? Okay, I need to double click. Fair enough. Change the type option. There's a type option somewhere. And they're having a small birthday, and the cafe is almost empty. Yeah, well, it's a nice thing for them, I guess. All right, can I do it this way then? Convert to shader material. I think that's a different material. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. So what I need to do is this. Because according to this document, which is a official Godot, they are using something called a shader material. I could convert that into one. Oh, here we go. That's something, I think. Perhaps I messed up. Perhaps I messed up. Then assign. Oh, wait, what? Okay, that makes, all right. I think I messed up. Shader material, you have to write shader code. It's for visual effects. Well, I'm trying to figure out because according to this website or the document, I'm able to use something called the visual shader trees or something like that. Click on shader. This shader. Well, because I just made a mistake of converting this to shader material. That might have been a mistake. In the inspector, this one. Mm. Open at the bottom. Oh, you mean this part as a shader stuff like coding? Okay. Okay. So what I'm trying to do, so I'm going to try and do something else. Let's, I'm going to follow this. Let's see what happens. That's the shader material. All right, fair enough. Good to know. Good to know. But I'm going to try and follow this, which is called, so this part. Using visual shaders or the visual alternative of creating shaders. Shaders are inherently linked to the visuals. If you're not familiar with shaders, fair enough. Created in any shaded material. Create a new shaded material in an object of your choice. Isn't that what I did? Probably not. Oh, here you go. Visual shader. Yes, each scene node has a material. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out this part with the nodes. I'm still a bit confused about that. But eventually I'll get there. Click on the new shader resource. They'll automatically change the type option to visual shader in the drop and then give it a name. Okay. The name. Where? What? Yeah, something's not right. It's telling me to load rather than create. Click on new file in file system. Okay, so do that. I assume it's a resource. And this? Create. Oh, I need to give it a name. Oh, okay. Our first. Yes. Create. Then what? Then what? Click on the visual shader just created to open the shader editor. The layout of the shader comprises of 4 parts. Oh, they did happen. It did happen. There you go. So I assume then this will work in a similar manner as the simplified. Open at the bottom. Yeah, I just noticed. I know it's a slight delay on YouTube, but thank you for the information. Oh, there we go. Perfect. And this one will color? No, it can't be. Similar to unit shader graph. All right, awesome. Normal. Ooh, I like that. I need to learn about this too. Invalid source. All right, so I assume then. Okay, so it needs to be texture. You learned a lot, yeah. It's a intense course right now. I'm not sure if I'm particularly fond of this. Okay, so that needs to be normal. You need to be color. That correct? What else? Do I need to add UVs or does it acknowledge the fact that UVs already exist? Data, color. No, I assume this is data. Normal 3D. This is roughness. Invalid. I'm having to think I learn a lot too, yeah. But IR could be turned on. Oh, it's not. What does that mean? And why is it working that way? It feels like this is wrong. This does not look correct to me. That's also invalid. Valid texture. I mean, it is a texture, so. I would like to see this part not be colored. Something issue in channel. All right. Oh, come on. All right. Either way, I think this is a good start. So what I want to do now is try to. I don't have knowledge in shade graph of Godot. Oh, okay, fair enough. I mean, I'm going to have to look into it more at some point. This is just pure basics for now. So what if I then go to this guy? I will have to. Can I do this? I can. Render priority, I don't know if we need that right now. These parts I need to look into, learn more about that. Path, fair enough. Does that mean I now have that assigned? Can I do this? Can't cut. Can I do? That doesn't look like it's working. I don't think this is working the way I hope it would. So how about we do this? Let's go to YouTube. Let's go to Godot. Search for visual shader with texture. Let's go with that. Just on this typical monster stuff. None of these look particularly useful. That's sad. But we do this introduction then. And of course, there's a ton of commercials before I can do anything else. Come on. All right, there you go. Thank you, thank you. Move on. Oh God, it's an hour long. Vertices, animating, no, no. Vertex stuff, no. Nope. Masking and image manipulation, we don't need that. Yeah, all of this is telling me I probably should use the classic or the easy mode, so to say. Which would mean what? That's a first, that's that. I have destroyed this. Typically, yeah. When you know. Yeah, all right. I do want this to work. But this part, I don't think I need that part. Can I do that? Can't. Can I do this? Can't. Can I do that? Nope. It doesn't seem like I can do that. I'm trying to just move the connection over to the next one. Yeah. How about that? How about we turn that off? That doesn't work. Not sure why. What's invalid source for shader mean? Godot use. Yeah, they are showing me how to do it with the basic shader. That's not what we want. It could be. I need to change some settings on this. I know that I need to do that with Unreal stuff, so. It doesn't look like that's the case. How about we do this? Is there an extra setting somewhere? Nope. Right. What do we know? We know that it's apparently not meant to be a roughness. That needs to be texture. I guess that makes sense. And data. What about color? I'm not sure why it's not showing. Why isn't it showing in this part? Do I need to input something else? Might have to. How about this? That. No, that makes no sense, does it? That makes no sense. I just feel like I've done things right. Probably not, because this one says color. Yeah, that's not correct. Invalid. Invalid. Valid. It's all just invalid stuff. Yeah. What's that? Path. What's all this? What's all this? Yeah, that's not working. What else can I do? Yep, the same as in Unity and Unreal. Then you add the texture, you tell it what type it is, I guess. And then you have, not sure what that is, the data type, I believe. But all of these, that should be normal, right? And that should be color. This one should be, I assume it should be data. Can I do something like a split step? They're separate. They're mask. Component. No. And it doesn't seem to be working either because this one seems to be fine. This. Yeah, it's using an external. Still using that. I don't know. Let's add that to things for me to look into at some point. What else can we do? What else can we do in Godot? We have scenes. we managed to open like a, should we call it the shader, visual shader stuff, which is nice. I think for Godot, I think this is enough for tonight. I have roughly an hour left, and I'd like to update a few assets. I think we're going to make this chair. I'm going to save, turn this off. Let's also turn close, not turn off, but close on Photoshop. So we're going to look at this guy. But I'm happy that Godot and Unreal Blender seems to be working quite well. There's likely a few quirks that I still haven't learned, and I need to look into that. So what we're going to do is going to find, what is it called though? It's probably not called dumbbell. It's called free weight. It's not chair, is it? It's called that exercise chair. What's that? No. What's it called though? The let's just ask ChatGPT if they have good answer. Adjustable chairs, blah, blah, blah. They are called adjustable bench, incline bench, lap bench. That I recognize, but that's not the one I'm looking for. Let's go with this one. We're going to search again. Gym, quick bin. Let's go for that. Adjustable bench. There we go. Now we're talking about something. Which one are we going for? I'm looking at a reference image on that. With that said, let's open PureRef. Let's see. Just need a simple one. These ones are way too complicated. How about that one? That looks decently simple. That one has a bench press. No, I don't like that. This one. This is what we're going for. So let's open this as new tab. Grab an image. Do this. Go for this one. Paste it in. So what we have, I'm going to show you all, is this. I'm going to resize a bit. So this is what we're going for. Simplify though. I'm going to skip a few things. For example, we're not going to go for wheels. The foot is going to be bulkier. The base is going to be bulkier. I guess everything is just going to be slightly more bulky. I'm not sure what we should do with the adjustable stuff though. Because that will be falling up and down, right? Or pivot. For now, let's see if we can just make it this angle and keep it simple. So, how about we use this as a base and probably borrow a few things from the other ones. Well, let's start with this. go with this, and that divided by 2 should, but it didn't. Hoping it would move it upwards, but it didn't do that. Oh, I can see why. Let's do it this way then. Invert. Cursor, move it up. There we go. And the patient scale. How wide? I guess that's wide enough. From here, so this part would be slightly more difficult. I'm not sure what to do, how to do that part. We're making the bar that goes. I can kind of just show you. I'm thinking about this part right there. So this part is not hard. It's the connection with the bend. But maybe that's not hard, because what I could do, if I do a simple plane and then do a bevel at the end, I think that's probably the easiest way to do this. So let's grab this part, duplicate it, move it around. All right. All right. And we got some ads. And I adjust this. Pretty sure I did just, oh, sorry. There you go. Now I can work without disturbing. That's big. That's way too big. I scale it down somehow. Oh well, we'll adjust it after the stream. Easier. There you go. About the teeth. The not sure what to do about that. Because that could be quite expensive polygon wise. Not too an insane amount, but more than a need. But we'll see. We'll see once we're done with the ads. We'll add the larger beam and take it from there. But yeah, what's going on here, by the way? Not much, I guess. Yeah, I hope to get some speed going, like speed, some pace. That makes sense. I want to get into this game project more. Get the be more productive. Let's use that word. It's been a while, and I feel like I've been not necessarily neglecting the project. I haven't really been focusing on it as much as I probably should or wanted to. But hey, it is what it is. Sometimes that happens. So with that, let's move this one. So, and I'm guessing what's going on with that. I think that's probably a good angle. Let's grab this. And should be. How about we do this? Because I want to be able to adjust it afterwards. So let's have a bevel weight. Then, material. I want to do that. Do a bevel. Let's just add one, I guess. There we go. Don't need that. We're then going to go for an weight. That's a 3. Why 3? What's going on? Something's not working the way I expect it to. There we go. Do 6 segments. Next, we want to add a operation, add modifier. There we go. Let's add this. That's probably thick enough. Should I do it the other way? Because if we do it the other way, that's not going to work. We don't have to worry about these. When you do a solid modifier in the concave direction, which would mean if you do it from this downward, this angle and this angle might meet up and intersect. If you can, I would recommend always go the other way. But in this case, we might be running into some problems with that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move this down. This back. Let's move this like so. Once we've done that, we're going to invert the offset. We'll get this. That's better. Now we can adjust the thickness as we want without worrying about the concave direction intersecting each other. And we're also going to do a flat. There we go. Actually, let's do an auto smooth. That works. That's good enough. So I'm not going to combine anything right now. Eventually, we're going to combine these into one single object. But for now, we're just going to keep making the parts. So we can just block it out, right? That's the main idea. Object origin to, nope. We're going to move the cursor to edge. Then we're going to make, let's do another plane. No, yeah, let's do a plane. That should be roughly that size. Guess that. Let's add. How would that work? Looking at it, it's quite kind of rounded at the back, going up. The best way to do this would be to, let's add this, split that, then grab these. I'm pretty sure this will work. Grab these. Let's do that. Let's grab these. But I guess we need to do these too. Trying to find a good in between. I think that's good enough. This is probably way too much. Let's grab these. Yeah, that works. Probably can even go lower. We're fine for now. I'm going to do a limited dissolve, which gives me this. No, let's work with that. Let's change the music. Don't want this. No. That's better. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. Now I feel like this should be smaller, not too much. Okay. What next? Next we should, let's grab the top and hide this for now. This. Good. I'm trying to figure out how big I should make this. Well, size-wise, it shouldn't change that much. And the back is slightly wider than the front, so let's do like so. I'm going to try a proportional edit. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's move this down. Let's remove the proportional edit. I'm not going to worry about what's underneath. You're never going to see that. I mean, this is going to be the angle. So I'm probably not going to even add the... usually these things, these chairs would have this small mechanism underneath them. So you can adjust the seating. So instead of having it straight, you can also add it backwards. So when you sit on an incline, you would not fall off, slide off. That's probably the better word. You would have proper support. We're not going to do that because of, like I just mentioned, you're going to see this thing from this angle. You might see it from this angle. Again, I feel like the same principle stands. You're not going to see what's underneath. So we're going to ignore that. Instead, we're going to scale this up. Thick. That's probably thick enough. Before we do anything else, do that. Let's do the back while we're at it. I feel like I could pretty much just copy this part, reuse it. I don't have to remake everything. Grab that part. I'm going to make a distance. Oh, this one. That's probably good enough. How about we just, for now, extrude it outwards. Looks like it goes kind of all the way this part. Looking at this, I feel like we're doing something wrong. This should probably be this big. Now let's go with this. Let's do that. Proportional. No. We're going to move our cursor to this part, then select that. And sure we're using the cursor as our pivot point. And stop it from moving in the X axis by doing Shift X. So you can, as you know, or you might know, is that you can add the direction you want it to scale in. So by pressing S, which is scale, then Y, I can scale it in the Y direction. I can also scale it in X only or in Z only by pressing X, Y, or Z. But I can also just, let's see, select the entire thing, go S, then Shift X, which will now limit it, everything besides, oh, sorry, it will open up, enable all access besides the X axis, which is probably not what I want now. Think about it. I just want the Y axis, but that's a good thing to know. How about that? Almost going to move this further away. I want to do that. Then I also want to move this back, roughly that part. Grab this. Do that. Perfect. And next, we want to grab this and then set the scale. Also, so what I'm going to do now is bevel. Before you bevel, you probably, in 99.99, you add all units you want cases, you want to bevel or reset your scale. So it's once all the way in your objects or transform. If you don't do that, your beveling will be awkward, wrong in many ways. Do that. I'm going to then do bevel on this thing. We're going to remove one segment. Just going to do a simple segment like that. Oh, you know what? We can do that. Let's do it this way. We can keep these two the same, at least in a few instances. Let's do that. There we go. So we can do this. Perfect. For example, I do believe this will probably be a bit more beveled. Perfect. Grab top. These. Perfect. Do another bevel. Break time. Or break. Yeah, if you need to, just grab a break. Let's do another smooth. Perfect. But I'm also going to select these top faces. And then do Alt-N and do set from face. Perfect. And what about underneath? That looks fine. This looks fine to me. Apart from, I assume. Yeah, I knew it. Let's move these up. Roughly there. Then I'm going to grab this part. That's not what I want. Well, there was an action for that. Oh, there you go. Perfect. That was P, or sorry, P, dot. If you press the dot button, you will get this, which is this menu up here. Perfect. Let's do a 90. Turn that around. Scale it down there slightly. Oh, your phone. Yeah, I saw it last time you mentioned it. Yeah. It looks like a decent phone. Yeah, I saw it last time. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's see. 2 geometry, saturation, scale. So we have zeros and ones. Guessing we should probably. Do that. Grab these two. So I'm going to move my cursor. Do faces. No, not that. That one. So now I have, wait, what? That's not what you meant to do. You're not meant to do that. Why are you doing that? All right, either way, I will solve it because I want this be the center between those two. Cylinder, gonna make it an 8. And rotate in the Y, 90. Scale it down a lot. Go. And also the depth are going to be scaled in a lot. On top. Perfect. again, all of these details don't have to be super detailed, because from a distance, you're not going to see these things. Yeah, that works. Probably could make that a square. Yeah, could make it a box or a square. It's, what is it? It's 16. We're fine with 16. That's fine. I'll make these thinner. Probably slightly thinner on this side too. Move them up. Then we're going to delete the inside face. We don't need those. And we're going to grab all of these, move them down. Then I saw we also probably should do that. So we can add these back. I made a copy, so it's not the same. Mohammed, your exams will start soon. Well, good luck with that. That was fun part, isn't it? You feel prepared? To that. So that I'm just eyeballing these. How about that? What's the, all right, so let's do rotation. Didn't have to do it, but I just want to. Like so. Move this in, probably. Like so. No, probably should be all the way in, shouldn't it? Oh, not sculpt mode. Why is that? Why did I enter sculpt mode? And let's say cursor to select this one, to cursor, mirror, apply. All right, so next step would be then, let's first of all give a bevel to this one. There we go. Let's make that smooth. Again, set from face. Looks good. I think that works. Move it slightly more forward, I think. Yeah, that works. And we are going to combine these. So I need to apply this, delete that for now. Combine these. Add a bevel or a edge to a bevel. Sure, these are straight on. Move that. And, all right, there you go. That. I realized I should probably done it a bit differently. Do it this way instead. So we're going to separate these first. Do that. We're going to do a Boolean instead. Let's see if that works better for us. That looks really weird. Likely due to the shading. No, they've probably done something weird. What's going on? What's going on? Okay, it was a shading issue. It was. Now I have a cutter somewhere. There you go. Let's go and apply so we can adjust the these edges a bit. Should we adjust the scale? Thickness of, let's do it this way. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go down, we're going to move this one down, adjust this entire thing. Yep, that's good enough. So next, let's make sure this option up here in the top corner is active, because what that does is that if I move a vertex over to another one, like so, it will automatically merge them together. First, let's do this. That's not going to work. Let's remove a 0, so it definitely adds to these together. Maybe not. Why is that? Because of this to that. Anything else? That's probably not fine. It isn't. All right, let's grab these, move them into Zo. Do the same on this one. And there's no face on the inside. Perfect. Let's move the bevel weights. There we go. Next, we're going to do a bevel. We got some rotation, so let's move that first. Let's actually add a smooth, just in case. There we go. Now we're going to add a bevel, and we're going to do it with the little shift option. And this is an add-on, by the way, which is, I believe, is part of the hard-ups add-on, which simplifies and speeds things up a bit. So I highly recommend getting it if you're curious about hard-ups and hard surface modeling. So I'm going to do a Control-Shift bevel. Then up and down. It's going nuts. Which direction is it, up or down? It's none of them. I just apply it then. We can move this. Let's go for 1.02. Make it 1 segment. That's too big. Probably 0.015. And this will be done like so. Make this 30. Oh, probably not. How about that? Probably not big enough. That's probably good enough. It's close. I'm kind of comparing to this on the side. But it could probably be even bigger. There we go. I'm not going to do anything with these. No, actually, I take that back. We are going to do something with those. We're going to copy this modifier. And then we're going to lower this ever slightly. Made smooth. Is this one set to 30? Yep. Set that to 30 also. I'm going to ignore this one for now. I have to adjust that in future, but for now. Yeah, that makes no sense. Do that. There you go. Yep. Should I combine these just so that I can get that bevel? Nah, we're not. How about this? How's that? Not going to work. All right. Let's add a... Where are you? There you go. Nope, that doesn't help. I'm just trying a few things. If we can get it to look right. Oh, there's one underneath. How far do I need to go? That far. It's not horrendous. It's not perfect either. You know what? That's fine. It's fine. From here on, we're going to use the side, select this cylinder. We're going to add our cursor to that. I'm going to pick these two. Oh, I forgot. I need to fly. Do both of these have? Grab them both. Hold down Alt. Ah, that doesn't work. All right, let's do that. Combine them. How do we do this? Look at that. It's not going to work. New strategy. Let's pick this. And it's edge, edge, edge. Just going to go all the way around like this. I'm going to make these. Mark that sharp. Back to our smooth angle. Just make this 180. Now everything looks fine. Let's do weighted normals. Do the last. Come on. What's going on? Not pinned. Get up there. 50? Yep. Maybe 100. Let's see. Do 100. That works. Let's do the same for this. Which means this part needs to be sharp. Respect the sharpness. Right. Right. So what I was meant to do, or I went on a sidetrack, is we're going to add the pivot point to cursor so we can do this. Perfect. And we're going to have to make the edges, or the saw teeth, we want to call them. So the way we will do, let's grab this. Let's remove all the modifiers. Probably shouldn't make, how many are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 of those. Let's do this. Press yes. So you can press E once you and it's hold your cutter. Hey, I want this one. Then you press E. Then that will adjust to either one of these ends. If I do the one more time, you can see it adjust to the last or the edge it's closest. But if you do once, it will adjust to this one. So I can add a like where should it be? I guess something like that. So now I can remove this part. This should be further down. This part should probably be something like this. And let's see if we can't select the face. What if we do it this way? Make it custom. Then if I do that, I can now move it along the face. Perfect. Let's add, how should I do this? I definitely want up here. Then I need 2, 4, 6, 8. God dang. Let's add this one. Similar to the other one, like that. 2, 4, 6. How about that? How about that? Trying to think. We don't want to do this. This will go up. That will go up. That will go up. That will go up. That. We're going to extrude. We're going to eyeball a bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. I believe also that one. Let's see, let's also move this one. With that, we should grab all of these. Move it down like so. And then we'll make these rounded. Do the same with this one, but slightly different roundness. And let's grab all of these. Not the best I've done, but it works. I'm going to fix all of this geometry in a second. See if we can do a limited dissolve. Kind of works. Then let's add a solidify modifier, move it outwards. That's probably more than enough. Add a smooth. So again, it's not perfect, but looking from the distance, that looks decent to me. Let's do. Oh, now it's missing it. This happens every now and then. I don't like that. How about this? Yeah, doesn't matter. Let's close that down. Launch Blender again. Sometimes the add-on I'm using and its modifier is meant to do this. That tool is meant to show up. It didn't. Now I can do that. And again, might not look super smooth, but from a distance, I think these works really well. And from here, let's see, it's probably something along this line. Add the cube, scale it down. Oh, I need to do global. Do that. Where should this be? I'm guessing it should be on the middle one. Something like this. Wait, what happened? Oh, it's over there. It's way off. I'm going to do this. Cursor to select. Nope. Nope. All I want is for it to move to active. No, that's not the one. That's not what I wanted exactly. Well, actually, it is exactly what I wanted, but either way. It happened in a way I didn't expect. All right. You know, that's not horrendous. We just had ads. Did I miss that? No. Did I? That would be annoying. Why would I do that? No, we didn't. Something else. All right. Something else. And what else do I need? I need to split this in two. Do a let's see. We're going to do that. All right, scale before bevel, always. Oh, we got some ad break. Yeah, you're right. And I need to use the bathroom again, so I'll be right back. Oh, almost spot on. Ad breakfast. What is that? Right. Ads are over. So I'm going to add. Let's move the cursor to selected, add another cylinder. And let's see, we need to make it an 8. Let's lower the radius a lot, lower the depth a lot. Let's also flip it in Y. 90, perfect. Go to side view. I'm also going to do this. We're going to grab this part, make a new custom orientation. So hopefully, with that done, I should be able to move this perfectly along like so. Auto smooth. That didn't work. But that, there you go. How about that? What does that look like? I feel like I'm missing something. And again, I'm not sure if I should care at this stage. The reason I feel like I don't have to is because the game is still so early in development. So spending too much time on this really doesn't make sense. I'm going to do this. Let's make a copy of this. And let's do it in edit mode. So we're going to get two versions, but in the same merged object, if that makes sense. How about that? I think that looks like a decent chair, don't you? I think it does. What else? Are there any details that I feel like should be there? There is that damn, what you call it, handle. Should probably add that. Because that might be shown. You might see it while we were working around. Yep. While we're doing this, I'm going to delete that. How will we do it? What's the best way? What would be the best way to do that? I could use it using a curve. I feel like that it's excess though. I could just do it by eye because it's such a small detail. How do we do that? Let's do it with just purely by eye. Cylinder. No, not 90. Let's do a 40. Do that. Do 45. No. Let's eyeball that too. That's not center, is it? No, it's not. How would I fix that? Let's do it this way. That's center at least. Now we can move this back. Come on, come on. Where are you? There you are. There we go. And there we go. Come on. This is definitely not the best way to do a perfect bend, but I don't need perfect. I need decent. Yeah, that's what I need. Or another look at it, the angle is slightly different. It's more like that. There you go. Like a small phallic thing, but doesn't really matter. Wait. Oh, it's not on the ground. Which means this one needs to be further, and also delete that face. God damn it. Let's do this. Again, not necessary, but I'm going to do it. To C to, no, don't do that. Are you? No. What's the problem? There you go. And let's save. And also I'm going to see if this updated Godot. There we go. It's importing. And there you are. It's right there. Looking snazzy. Everything seems fine. Don't see any normal issues. That shading right there might be. Let's fix that some other time. Other than that, I think we're fine. It needs to be. Oh, didn't I fix that? Then did I? No, I did. Why is it like that? How about this then? Let's select all of these. I feel like I can commit to this. Do that. Let's go to modifiers, apply, hide, and we're going to have to find the one that has that origin point. There you go, that one. Find all of them. Let's check. That's the wrong one. There we go. So I'm thinking the pivot point will be closer to the main seat. What feels right? That feels right. And let's move origin cursor. There you go. Last save. Oh, that's the cutter. That makes sense. That makes sense. And fresh. Yeah, that was terrible. That's the second time it happened. I don't like it. Really don't. You know what we could do? We're not using this anymore, so let's just be gone. All right. This is in place. That is in place. We still haven't done anything with the reception desk and chair or shelf. That's the vending machine. That's the bathroom. And our metal sink. Yeah. So this area is not the most important part with in regards to gameplay, so we're not going to touch that as much. These are more important, although that said, not really super important, because right now we're at the stage where the game purely needs simple stuff. doesn't need any fancy. This is kind of fancy for what we need at this stage. And this one needs to be an update. I think this is like 30,000 triangles or something like that, which is absolutely bonkers, way overkill. But these are not, back off a bit, these are not textures, they are actual geometry, so it's quite dense. It needs to be updated at some point. I think that's it. I think that is it for my first time in Godot. And moving forward, how should I do this? Usually, I mean, I don't really have a proper routine at this point, which I do. I would do want a more proper schedule, that rather than consistent time, which I've done. I've been quite consistent when it comes to time. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. Central European time, which I've been pretty good with that. What I haven't been as good with at is keeping to themes like game dev or games. I've been playing a lot of games lately. I do want to go back more to game dev, and I need to find a way to distribute that across the week. And I'm thinking I'm probably will likely go for a 2-1 split, which means 2 streams of game dev and 1 stream of play and games. Moving forward, probably I'll think about it and I'll let you all know and update the schedule as I see things. I'll figure something out. Yeah. Mohammed, yes, I am closing. It's almost 10 p.m. So I am closing this stream for now. So either way, everyone, thank you for showing up. I know my streams are on the shorter end of length or durations. Usually they will go on for like at least 4 hours or more. But this is the schedule I can keep. And moving forward, next week will be the last week before I go to Japan on my vacation. So that will mean another 2 weeks after that. During that time, I'll not be streaming. I'll be back in November, mid-November, and I will figure something out. Pick up the pace or something like that. So everyone, thank you for showing up. And if you're still curious about what I do and want to see some other streams I've done, I have all my VODs on YouTube. Just go to everkindlestudio on YouTube and you'll find it there. And other than that, please consider giving me a follow. Please consider subscribing. You know all the drill. You know how it works. And like the videos. All of that. So thank you all. And let's see if we can't find someone for Twitch to... is anyone showing up? Let's see. I think we're going to raid Operation. So I can always forget. XIV was that. That's 14, I believe. Always forget about that. Let's do a raid. Okay, bye-bye, Mohammed. I'll see you next time. Hopefully. I think that's great. All right, last time. Thank you all. See you next time. Bye-bye.